Greetings, my dear audience. This is Self Mastery 101. And today I'm going to because this is actually a message from God, and He gave me the orders and the instructions to let you know exactly what I have been doing for the past 20 years. For the past 20 years, I have been collecting data and investigating all injustices that have been happening. And just to let you all know, it's just really disconcerting to find out that I have been living a lie my entire life. And most of the things that happened to me, that was something that was created. And there is an institution that has actually been having everybody under a hypnosis. So where they're thinking they're awake, everybody's been sleepwalking. And the thing is, when I'm looking at prejudices, I said, this just can't be, because I talk to everybody and have bonded with the world. And the world doesn't think the way basically what the media has been portraying for all of these years. Basically, they have been using every kind of prejudice as a form of a distraction, because they are stealing money. They're stealing from mankind. They're stealing our energy. They're stealing our money, and they are attacking our spirituality. And basically, God is saying right now, He is not messing around anymore. Everybody's now seeing it here on earth, God's wrath. He is not messing around, and these are the last days of injustice. There isn't, final days, end of the world. It's the last days of injustice, and these people are being exposed. So, I've always had a large team, but God basically just appointed 200 more members to my team so that we can get this done. And I'm going to also tell you what I have been doing. So throughout the past 20 years, you've been hearing about large corporations closing, merging, and just where it just didn't make any kind of sense, and people jumping ship. Me and my team have been a part of that demolition program. The last company that I did work for, the demolition program was starting. I was trying to see if they were worth saving, if we can just resolve all of the matters, but there's just absolutely nothing to be resolved. That corporation has been promoting and perpetuating all of this brainwashing. And so right now they've been in the middle of destruction. And it was actually recently, I had lunch with some friends, some trusty friends who know everything about the corporation. And I found out that so far in the city that I'm at, 29 stores were closed down, and other stores, they cut their hours and they're no longer 24 hours. Here I thought, when I wrote the letter and sent the messages to all the owners, if you know what's good for you, I suggest you pull out. I had no idea that it actually was effective. And I asked my friend, well, what's happening? He told me how the computers and the safes are breaking down, security cameras are breaking down, and there's all these symbols and numbers. And he said, and then one of the owners came in and said, you know what? I just don't feel like being here anymore, and I'm just going to close. I'm done. He closed 17 stores. The other owner came in and said, I just don't want to be here anymore. And he closed 12 stores. Other people said that I personally know, they said something told me just to leave. So I left. I ended up quitting, but I did get a job right away. So just to let you know, that declaration that I sent out, that has been long overdue. And I don't move unless God tells me to move. So you're going to be seeing a lot of things that's happening on the news because it already started. The more these people are holding on, the more they are going to be forced to be off. There is no more winning. God basically let these people get away with all of their dirt. And my duty was to go in there and to be cloaked as a weak employee. So I can see everything that's going on. And I even became, very friendly with the enemies. So when the enemies were just going off and saying all this stuff, I became more friendlier because basically I had to get my information and poke into their mind to see exactly, okay, how are they thinking like this? Why are they thinking like this? Who are their friends? Who are their friends' friends? So this is what I have been doing. And that's why as soon as certain companies tick me off, they end up going out of business. They've been doing an injustice. And if they did, it was just a small group of people that I've seen this done to in the different corporations that are being shut down, have shut down, and on their way to being shut down. And I said, how many people did they get away with doing the same thing to? And if they did it to me, they did it to many others. And now there is retribution. All people who were attacked and had some sort of theft, you will be getting your returns. The people on the judgment letter, you're getting your returns. But also, too, in terms of the people calling themselves gang stalking, I have a mighty shield, and I did notice today they couldn't even come. They couldn't even come within feet of me. And there was one that it was a black Toyota Corolla or something like that. It was one of those hatchbacks cars. He slowed down, but he couldn't slow down right in front of me. And then he did a U-turn and he got the heck up out of there. There was another person who had light blue jeans and a light tan shirt, and he was acting like, oh, I'm just looking for something, but he was miles away from me. And he thought I was turning into one place, and I didn't. I kept walking. And this is going to be so much fun because they can look at me and follow me all they want. They don't know who I'm dealing with, and they're not going to. Because I've been doing this all this time secretly, and they have no idea the team that has been built. And I have a team internationally too. So this is worldwide. You will be hearing a lot since all of these thieves are connected to each other internationally. It's not just in one country. Right now, God is exposing all of these thieves and liars. If you are having issues with some of your friends, or you think you did something wrong to betray your friends, just to let you know, it really wasn't you. They have been doing this brainwashing and infiltrating themselves to create chaos so that you can keep losing and have no friends and have no happiness, while you only see 1% of the people having this great, joyous life. And we're thinking that it's because people have money. It has nothing to do with people having money. It's people controlling us and stealing from us. And then they're living off of us. So now God is taking everything back. These people are going to be switching, and the Wheel of Fortune we're at the top of the Wheel of Fortune. We're at the top of the Ferris wheel right now. And they are fighting to keep their position at the top, but it's actually done. Their time is up. And of course, I will be giving you updates. The more team members we add and the more things we start to uncover. I wrote letters to certain politicians. There was already one politician, and once I pushed him out, when he sent me an email back and it was not his assistant, I knew it was him. I said, oh no, this man, there is no way in the world this man is going to be any politician of mine. And I do not want this man representing me. And he right away lost by a landslide in this state. And that was a while back. And I'm bringing everybody together so that we can start exposing and you can start noticing all of this stuff that's happening in your life. It has nothing to do with you. Even if you overspent and you're going into a credit card debt, that is something that they did. So they get you addicted to buying things or to needing this money and this currency, and the currency doesn't even exist. There is nothing that costs that much. It's ridiculous. Nothing. Not even housing. So now they're just getting a little bit too greedy. And now God, the man himself or the woman herself God stepped in and is taking over. I'm just here to bring out the message and to also continue doing this work. This sector with corporations is done. So I'm just wrapping everything up so that I can move on to my next project. So, everyone, I want you to keep your heads up and know that everything's going to be okay. You are on your way to autonomy. When you make a mistake, you're going to know that it's your mistake. Have you ever noticed when you do something wrong or you say something about somebody and you're like, I didn't mean to say that. Why did I say that? That's because there's something controlling you, where it's making you do bad things, making you be evil, when that's really not you. And they juice people up, almost like they're dogs, lab rats. Because I watch people, if you notice, when you see the same kind of people being bullies, it's like they have a battery in them and they just can't stop. And so when it's like, oh, stand up to the bully, the best thing to do with standing up to a bully is just walk away. Do not give any energy, because that feeds the bully and the bully's taking your power. That is the whole thing. Anytime you lose your temper, you're losing your energy. And just put your music on, and if you're in your car, scream real loud, get it out. But do not give any of these attackers energy. Don't strike back, not unless you're in physical danger. And I've had that before. I never strike back, and I don't say anything unless I know somebody's really, truly attacking me. God has trained me as his soldier, so I know how to definitely defend myself. And some of those attackers, when they just looked at me and they underestimated me, and when I actually physically took them out, I actually scared myself, and that's why I choose to not fight. Because God gives me this like super strength when I really need it. And no one can stop me when I'm at that point. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this and make myself look bad. Make sure you don't mark up your record. Also, they're not forgotten. They're a part of this judgment too. There is a gentleman who is a driver, and they keep stalking him. So he is to get a reimbursement for the delays that he had on his deliveries and how he could not make deliveries because these people were prohibiting him from doing that. He is to get a reimbursement, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. Also, the difference between, also, I forgot for myself, you are to pay me the difference that I had to pay rent versus my mortgage after you stole my house for the years that I have been in this apartment, with the rent increase also included after I signed on to my new lease. You are to pay that and have that in my account. Matters are going to continue to increase because either way it goes, it's going to get done. And either way it goes, I am A-okay. And God's paying me a bonus. I have a huge bonus coming up pretty soon. It is so rewarding. I'm so grateful that I no longer have to work for man ever again. I mean, man is the most limited. I would rather be a customer than to work for man. But now as a customer, I've been in there making sure that these people are doing the right thing because I'm not going to allow anybody to rip me off. I will play with you so I could get all of your information and then throw you under the bus completely. And then you're going to feel, you're going to feel betrayed. And oh well, you shouldn't do that to people. It's not nice. Everyone, I have lots of love for you and many blessings and much love.